The Science of Getting Rich, Chapter 2. There is a science to getting rich, and it is an exact science. Like algebra or arithmetic, there are certain laws which govern the process of acquiring riches, and once you learn and obey these laws, you will get rich with mathematical certainty. The ownership of money and property comes as a result of doing things in a certain way. Those who do things in this certain way, whether on purpose or accidentally, get rich, while those who do not do things in this certain way, no matter how hard they work or how able they are, remain poor. It is a natural law that like causes always produce like effects. Therefore, any man or woman who learns to do things in this certain way will infallibly get rich. That the above statement is true is shown by the following facts. Fact 1. Getting rich is not a matter of environment. If it were, all the people in certain neighborhoods would become wealthy. The people of one city would all be rich, while those of other cities would all be poor. Or the inhabitants of one state would roll in wealth, while those of an adjoining state or country would be in poverty. But everywhere we see rich and poor living side by side, in the same environment and often engaged in the same vocations. When two persons are in the same locality and in the same business, and one gets rich while the other remains poor, it shows that getting rich is not primarily a matter of environment. Some environments may be more favorable than others, but when two people in the same business are in the same neighborhood, and one gets rich while the other fails, it indicates that getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way. Fact 2. And further, the ability to do things in this certain way is not due solely to the possession of talent. For many people who have great talent remain poor, while others who have very little talent get rich. Studying the people who have gotten rich, we find that they are an average lot in all aspects, having no greater talents and abilities than other people. You have probably thought about this yourself, why others have gotten ahead in the world who possess less talent than you, while you stay in the same old rut. It is evident that they do not get rich because they possess talents and abilities that other people don't. It's because they happen to do things in a certain way. Fact 3. Getting rich is not the result of saving or thriftiness. Many very miserly people are poor, while free spenders often get rich. Fact 4. Nor does one get rich by doing things which others fail to do. For two individuals in the same business often do almost exactly the same things, and one gets rich while the other remains poor or goes bankrupt. From all these things, we must come to the conclusion that getting rich is not the result of doing certain things. It is the result of doing things in a certain way. If getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way, and if like causes always produce like effects, then any man or woman who can do things in that way can become rich, and the whole matter is brought within the domain of exact science. The question arises here whether the certain way is so difficult that only a few may follow it. But the certain way, as we have seen, does not require any special natural ability. Talented people get rich, and ignoramus get rich, and uneducated people get rich. Physically strong people get rich, and weak and sickly people get rich. Some degree of ability to think and understand is, of course, essential. But as far as natural ability is concerned, any man or woman who has sense enough to read and understand these words can certainly get rich. Also, we have seen that it is not a matter of environment, although location counts for something. One would not go to the top of Mount Everest, set up an ice cream parlor, and expect to do successful business. Getting rich requires dealing with people and being where these people are. If these people are inclined to deal in the way you want to deal, so much the better. But that is about as far as the environment counts. If anybody else in your town can get rich, so can you. If anybody else in your state can get rich, so can you. If anybody else in your country can get rich, so can you. Again, it is not a matter of choosing some particular business or profession. People get rich in every business and in every profession, while their next door neighbors in the same vocation remain in poverty. It is true that you will do best in a business which you like and which suits you. If you have developed certain talents, you will do best in a business which calls for those talents. Also, you will do best in a business which is suited to your locality. An ice cream parlor would do better in a warm climate than in Alaska, and a salmon fishery will succeed better in the northwestern United States than in Florida, where there are no salmon. But aside from these general limitations, getting rich is not dependent upon your engaging in some particular business, but upon your learning to do things in a certain way. If you are now in business and anybody else in your locality is getting rich in the same business while you are not getting rich, it's because you are not doing things in the same way that the other person is doing them. Fact 5. Getting rich is not a matter of lack of capital. True, as you get capital, the increase becomes easier and more rapid. But one who has capital is already rich and does not need to consider how to become so. No matter how poor you may be, when you begin to do things in a certain way, you will begin to get rich. You will begin to have capital. Getting capital is a part of the process of getting rich. It is a part of the result which invariably follows doing things in the certain way. Summary. You may be the poorest person on the continent and be deeply in debt. You may have neither friends, influence, nor resources. But if you begin to do things in the certain way, you must infallibly begin to get rich, for like causes must produce like effects. If you have no capital, you can get capital. If you are in the wrong business, you can get into the right business. If you are in the wrong location, you can go to the right location. You can do so by beginning in your present business and in your present location to do things in the certain way which causes success.